Should you be staring or looking at women when you're on semen retention? Is it okay? So this is what we're going to be talking about today in this video. Is should you be doing it? Should you not be doing it? Is it okay to do it? Is it something you should be doing? Like, should you have any business even doing it at all? So it really depends though, right? Like, everybody is different. I'm different. As far as my situation goes, I mean, I've been doing this for years. I've been doing semen retention for years now, and I'm so used to it. But I've recently found myself I still look at women because I'm naturally attracted to women. I mean, if I was attracted to guys, maybe I'd be looking at guys. So there's like this magnetic pull, right? Like you walk in a room and you're somebody who's looking, at each person that's coming in your direction, or you're trying to scope out maybe like an attractive woman or an attractive female, because you can't really help yourself, right? Like there's like this magnetic pull that's going in that direction, right? Like your mind's going in that direction and you can't help yourself, right? But in my situation, I don't really have a problem with this because I find myself doing it every time, and I catch myself doing it every time, where I'm looking at a woman because I'm attracted to women, and I really just appreciate when I see an attractive woman or a woman that fits into my archetype or is what I'm attracted to physically. It's like you get like a little dopamine hit, you get a little dopamine rush, and it's almost like it's no different than looking at a rainbow or an eclipse, right? Or a shooting star. Like it's no different than looking at a shooting star or looking at an eclipse or looking at a rainbow. Like you're just enjoying, God's creation and all of its glory, and you appreciate it. It's like you appreciate the beauty of God's creation, and you admire it, and you don't go. I mean, in my situation, I don't go further than that. I don't take it and I don't try and distort it or try to turn it into I don't try and distort it, and I don't try and take that and make it debaucherous, right? Like, if I appreciate the rainbow that I see, I'm not like trying to figure out other ways on how the rainbow can look better or how to make the rainbow look different in a better way. I appreciate the rainbow for what it is and its natural state and its natural glory in a way that should be appreciated in its default state. That's kind of what it is for me. When I see an attractive woman, or I see a woman that like appeals to me and that is my type, and I appreciate it as if it's just another creation of God's work, at play. But I'm not like thinking like lustfully, really, thinking of ways to like distort it and turn it into just distort it. And I appreciate it for what it is. But that's the thing, is it might be like playing with fire though. You have to be able to catch yourself and see what you're doing and catch your your um your cues, because a lot of people, they can't help themselves, they can't control themselves. They like, you know what, man, I really can't help when I'm checking out these women. I'm like, I have to always look around me and see if there's any cute girls or anything. And I just can't help it, man. It's like a part of like my person. It's a part of my nature. And I understand that, because there's like, you can't really help but do it, because it feels as if there is a magnetic pull in that direction, and you just can't help but go in that direction you're getting pulled in. Yeah, you have to live that out. Just like any other addiction that you have or that you're experiencing, is like, addictions want to be lived out, right? Like, they want to be lived out. They need to be experienced. And the only way to really get rid of an addiction or a bad habit is to live out the addiction or the bad habit, because they want to be lived so bad. They want to be lived out so bad, right? So that's a lot of people, or maybe most people, is they can't help but do that. It's like they have like this, it's like they're wired this way. It's like they have this magnetic pull, and they just get pulled in that direction, even if they're conscious of it or unconscious of it. It's like, if they're aware of it, they're going to see that they're getting pulled, but they're still going to get pulled. If they are unaware of it, they're still going to get pulled. They're just not aware of getting pulled. So, but being more aware of it will allow you, it'll create a space of which you are able to recognize your patterns, recognize the cycles, and it allows you to be able to work in areas that you can work in, to then get rid of the addiction, or to then transcend the addiction or the bad habit, right? It allows room for growth if you're more aware of your patterns and you're more aware of your cycles, right? So a lot of people, they can't help themselves. They can't control it. But is it really like a huge problem? Just in general, it's like, with me, I don't necessarily have a problem with it. It becomes a problem when, you start you start making like the idea or the thought debaucherous, right? You start distorting it, and you can say that you make it like lustful, and you're like thinking lustful of like ways or like scenarios of, oh, what am I going to do with this person? Oh, I need to go. Okay, I'm going to go. What if I just go pick this person up, or like go walk up to this person and take them out, so I can go like hit it and quit it, right? You just think of all of these scenarios, but I think a lot of it has to do with the things that you put into your mind. Like, if you're somebody who watches a lot of things that they shouldn't be watching on the internet, or like they watch a lot of porn, that's going to like dull them, and it's going to create like that magnetic pull. It's going to make that magnetic pull way more, like it's going to substantially make it worse, right? Like, it's going to make that pull way worse, because they're doing things that exacerbate and that make them like more thirsty, right? Like more hungry for like intimacy and sex, because they're watching things on the internet, or they're thinking about things, scenarios, and they are like watching things and exposing themselves and subjecting themselves to things that are making them like even more hungry for like sex. And what this does is it like stimulates their nervous system, or like their sexual center or their sexual system. Yeah, it stimulates that. Every time you you partake in that thought, it's like a frame of thought. It like puts you in a box, right? Like you enter that box and you get stuck in that little box of like fantasy of like, okay, what am I going to do with this person? Like, oh, you think about, you know, like having sex with that person, or you think about different scenes with that person, or you can call it like lustful thoughts. Yeah, this stimulates your nervous system, or this stimulates your center, your sexual center, and it gets you going. It gets you, stimulates you. It gets you worked up by just thought, because thoughts are vibrations, and thoughts, they burn up your energy and they create vibrations, right? So if you are like, you're in public and you look at a girl that's attractive to you, or she appeals to you in some way physically, and then you go down that you go and you take that thought of, wow, she's attractive, wow, yeah, and you distort that thought and you make it debaucherous. That's really gonna like deplete your energy, and it drains you, because you're like in this little filter, you're like in this little box where you're just thinking, you're like in your own little world, thinking these other scenarios and thinking these different situations, and then one thing will lead to another, and then you go and you maybe think about other things, right? And then it's like, the more you're doing it, the more it's like stimulating your nervous system, your sexual center, right? And it's really burning up all that energy within you, and it's getting you, it's stimulating you, it's working you, and you can be aware of it and you cannot be aware of it. But how do you like handle it? Because a lot of people are gonna say, well, I can't help myself, I can't stop, like this is so difficult, like I keep getting like pulled in that direction. It's like a rubber band, right? The rubber band gets pulled in the direction you're pulling it from. Your mind is like getting pulled like a rubber band to that direction, and you're doing things such as looking up things on the internet, or looking at things you shouldn't be looking at. That's making that pull way more stronger, and it's making it faster. It's exacerbating that pull. So how do you lessen that pull? How do you work on not burning up your energy? What do you do? Will you stop looking at things you shouldn't be looking at? Right? You put in the work, you put in the effort to not look at those things. You do the best that you can, and you may have to do it for a very, very long time. So I feel like it's something that you shouldn't really play around on when you're retaining your energy. I feel like it's, maybe for most people, it's like playing with fire, or it's risky play, and you're better off not really bothering with those things or doing those things. Like most people, I would say, are better off not playing with fire like that, and they're better off not worrying about those things. But most people, they're gonna have trouble with that, because the sexual instinct, it's so deep, it's so it's so powerful, it's so potent. It's something you have to work at, it's something you have to practice. Practice makes perfect, and you need to put in the effort to lessen that gravitational pull, or that magnetic pull, and to just make watch what you're watching, watch what you're taking in every day, and be aware of it. And even if you're out in public and you're looking at things, if you're like checking people out, you need to catch yourself, and you really need to watch yourself and see what you're doing and how you're reacting, in your patterns, and why you're doing the things you're doing. So I think that's about it. Should you be doing it? Should you be looking if you're retaining your sexual energy? I mean, I would say it's probably best for most people not to, and it's probably safer. But in my case, I just enjoy looking at a rainbow when I see a rainbow, and I don't really take it further than that. I mean, the mind might try and take it further, but I don't really entertain what the mind's trying to do, and I just enjoy it for what it is, and I move on from that. If you have trouble with that, then it's something you perhaps need to face, and it's something you need to perhaps, work on within yourself. And you need to watch what you're taking in, and you got to watch what you're doing and watch what you're watching, and just watch your patterns and watch how you move, and watch, how you behave when people are out and about. And you really need to catch yourself. People will say, oh, I just can't do it, I'm not strong enough, or oh, it's just too hard, it's too addicting. Yeah, it takes time, it's a process, because this instinct, it's so powerful, it's so deep, it's so deeply rooted, right? This is it's almost like it's a part of the human experience. You can't escape it, you have to face it. I mean, I had to face it, and it's not an easy process. It takes time, and you have to work on it, and you have to be aware of what you're doing and how you react and how you respond in certain situations. So, yeah, hope that helped. Thanks for watching.